Hello, I am Dr. Mary Jo Ruggieri. I'm a holistic health professional, and welcome to Staying Well with Dr. Mary Jo. The healthiest food we have on this earth is kale. I always say, hail to kale. Now, what I'd like to do is to show you and give you some actual definitions and some specifics on the benefits of kale, how to use it very quickly, and I think it's probably one of the key vegetables, especially plant-based green, dark green leafy vegetables that you should use as daily as you can. Let's talk about it. First of all, lowers cholesterol. I mean, absolute. The research is profound. When I studied it, it was like there was excellent research. Now, interestingly, with kale, it's a fiber. It has a fiber-related component, and it does better binding with bile acids in the digestive tract when it's steamed. Now there's a lot of controversy on that because the raw foodists say do not steam anything, it throws the vitamins out. With kale that's not true. 4 to 5 minutes. I think it's best, and what I use it, I use it as with a steamer. I just put the water to, a little bit of water in the bottom, just let it steam, in a little topper. Okay, kale also is now recognized as the best support for the body's detoxification system. It's interesting because obviously it's very high in chlorophyll, but there's still more properties to kale that actually meet the eye, and one of it is it has 3 or 4 of these specific oils that really help with pulling out the toxifications and the toxins out of the body. Now, research has identified, this is amazing, over 45 different flavonoids in kale. Kale's flavonoids combine both antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. And I think this is one thing when I'm working with my clients is that I try to get them to use kale regularly. I mean, obviously spinach and kale have the same thing. I don't think people realize how great kale tastes. You want to include kale as much as you can, within your own program as far as, if you're going to have, certain types of veggies, or you want to, even if you're doing some like scrambled eggs and you can saute some kale in it. So let's talk about it. Before you steam the kale, you want to cut it. Now these are the actual stalks of the kale. Let's take a look at these. I think these are really kind of neat. And it's really hardy. The darker the green, the better it is. So you want to take these and you want to chop them up or just pull them off, and then just take them and pull them and make them smaller. About maybe cut them into 1/2-inch slices as you're doing it. See how easy they come off. I think the stem's kind of bitter. I usually cut that stem off right there. But you can just take and you can just pull it. It's real easy to do. You can pull it right off. You can just pull the leaves right off, and you can, cut them. Then sometimes I'll just cut them. You see, you can take it right from the stalk. Okay, I don't use a stalk all the time, but if you do, you cut it into about 1/4 of an inch, and you can use the stalks, and they're good. If you steam them, they are really tender. So after you have taken the stalk and you have the leaves, I just kind of break them up. I just kind of pull them apart before I steam them so I can eat them. And then you just put them into the steamer. Now, another thing you can do with kale, and notice how rich that thickness of the kale is. Another thing you can do with kale chips if you want to steam them is to actually put them into nice bigger pieces. You can even, maybe that's a big one, and make kale chips from them. Now you don't have to go through and buy yourself tons of dryers or anything like that. But what I do is first thing, you can bake them. Low temperature, probably around 200, 225 at the most, or you can dry them. Take some coconut oil, okay? And rub some coconut oil right on the leaves. And just kind of like you're massaging the leaves, both the front and the back. And then place them on a flat pan, and you then can add some tamari, or you can add some balsamic. Also, you can add onion powder. I like the dulse, organic dulse with garlic. So just a little bit of coconut, a little bit of dulse. Bake them. When you'll actually see them, they'll get so crisp. They're like chips. They'll get very crisp. You can dry them also. Now, the one thing with kale is that to select kale, and it's very interesting, you want to have it firm, deeply colored leaves, moist and hardy. Keep in a cool place. Smaller leaves will be more tender, remember that. And to store, use a plastic bag. Remove as much of the air as you can because it will stay longer. So when cooking, again, rinse. Don't rinse before you cook. Don't leave them sitting in the refrigerator wet because they mold and they are not crispy. So rinse, steam, and use a dressing on it. I love a little bit, if you want, just a hair of olive oil and some balsamic vinaigrette. You can also get kale at the store, and this is already, look how this is a little bit darker, a little bit different, but one word of caution with it, please, when you get the kale, get organic kale. Now, unbelievable taste. Steam, put a little bit of seasoning on it, and you've got a wonderful, wonderful, high absorbable, very, very nutritious veggie. So to stay well, let's have some kale. Thank you.